Hello students in 7th grade, this is your English teacher Dana from Ru'al Farouk Academy. Today we're going to complete our structures of simple past and past continuous by answering the questions on your student's book. So please prepare your student's book and be ready for our class. So the outcomes of our lesson today: students should be able to revise the simple past and past continuous. Then we will answer the questions on Students' Book, page 22. Okay, we talked about simple past, and we use simple past if we want to talk about the actions that happened and finished in the past. So, the verb that we use in simple past is verb 2, verb past. Excellent. And if we want to negate the sentence in simple past, we use the helping verb. Excellent. Didn't with infinitive verb. What about the past continuous? When we say continuous, so we have to use great verb ing. But verb ing is always preceded by the helping verbs, and if we want to talk about the past continuous, so was and were with verb ing. And we talked about two keywords that we have in past continuous. They are when and while. Excellent. As we see here, when followed by simple past, then the second sentence is in the past continuous. If we start with when, we have to put comma between the two sentences, but if we want to put when in the middle of the sentence, so we don't put a comma between the two sentences, as we see here. What about while? While is followed by the past continuous, then comma, simple past. And if we want to use while in the middle of the sentences, so we don't put a comma between the two sentences, as we see here. These are the forms of past continuous with when and while. Now, let's start answering the questions on Students' Book, page 22. We want to read these two paragraphs, then we will answer the questions about these two paragraphs. Read. When Philip walked into the square that afternoon, he saw that it was bustling with visitors. Some were taking photos of magnificent fountain in the middle of the square. Some were buying cool drinks from the stalls around the edge. Others were sitting on benches in the shade of the trees. Here we have the continuous tense and what? The simple past. Walked is a regular verb in the simple past, and so also we use saw in simple past. Was bustling, were taking, were buying, were sitting, all these verbs in past continuous. Let's complete. Philip was making his way across the square towards his cousin's newspaper stand when he saw the thief. The man was wearing a disguise, but Philip recognized him. Immediately, he was mingling with the tourists and taking photos of the square. While Philip was watching him, the man pointed his camera at one of the elegant buildings and started to photograph it. That building was the bank. We have here was in the simple past, started, pointed, recognized. All these verbs are in the past tense and they are regular verbs. Excellent. But was making, was wearing, was mingling, was watching, they are in past continuous. And don't forget that the verb saw or see from the stative verb. Excellent. من الأفعال الجامدة التي لا تقبل الاستمرارية. We can't say he was saying. We say he saw. Okay? Don't forget that. Now let's start answering the questions. Question number 2. Answer these questions. I want to read these questions and I'll show you the answers. Number 5 and 8 from your own opinion. So, number 1, was the square empty or busy? It was busy. Excellent. What were the tourists in the square doing? What were they doing? Let's remember. Excellent. They were taking photos, buying cold drinks, and sitting on benches. Number 3. What was the weather like? How do you know? The weather was what? Excellent. The weather was hot because people were buying cold drinks and sitting in the shade. Number 4. What was Philip doing when he saw the thief? What was he doing? He was making his way across the square. Number 6. What was the thief doing? The thief was mingling with the tourists and taking photos of the square. Number 5. What did the man do while Philip was watching him? Excellent. He took a photo of the bank. Question number 3. Ask and answer. Use the past simple. Like number 1. Philip drive into square. Did Philip drive into the square? No, he didn't. Look at the question. We use did because it's in the past simple and we answer by using the past simple. If we want to use did in the question, we have to use the infinitive verb drive. Number 2, let's make a question. What Philip see? What do you think? Excellent. What did Philip see? Did with infinitive verb see. What did he see? The answer should be in the simple past. He saw that the square was bustling with visitors. Excellent. Number 3, where visitors sit. Where, we want the helping verb did. Where did the visitors sit? They sat on benches in the shade of trees. Number 4, how fountain look? The answer, how did the fountain look? Excellent. It looked magnificent. Philip recognized thief. Number 6, what man start to do? Number 7, what Philip think? The answers are as we see here. Don't forget to use did in the question and with infinitive verb, and your answer should be in the simple past. Let's move to question number 4. Cover the text. Correct these sentences. We have 6 sentences here, and in each sentence we have something wrong. So we want to underline the incorrect word, then we want to correct it and write it behind the sentence. Number 1, few tourists were visiting the square. Few tourists is wrong. Excellent. What is the correct sentence? Lots of tourists were visiting the square. Number 2. Some people were sitting under the trees to escape the rain. Is it the rain? No. Excellent. To escape the sun. Yes. Number 3. Others were buying hot drinks. Where is the wrong in this sentence? Hot drinks, not hot drinks. They are, of course, cold drinks. Number 4. Philip was mingling with the tourists. Was Philip mingling with the tourists? No, he was, excellent, the thief. Number 5. Philip's cousin was buying newspapers in the square. Was buying? No, he was selling the newspapers. The last one, the thief was drawing a picture with a square. Was drawing a picture? Of course no. He was taking a photo of the bank. Now question number 5. This is an important question, so please pay attention. We have when and while. We want to join the sentences, use these words. Don't forget that after when we have simple past and the second sentence is past continuous, and after while we have past continuous and the second sentence is in simple past. Philip entered the square. He saw a crowd of visitors. We have when. So the answer is when Philip entered the square, he saw a crowd of visitors. He saw. Why we don't use past continuous in the second sentence? Why? Who wants to answer? Yes? Excellent, because saw from the stative verbs من الأفعال الجامدة. So we don't use these verbs in continuous tense. عشان هيك يا مس إحنا حطينا الجملتين بالsimple past. We can't say he was seeing a crowd of visitors, okay? Number 2. Philip was watching the tourists. He spotted the thief. Where is the simple past sentence? Excellent. So, the answer is Philip was watching the tourists when he spotted the thief. We start with past continuous sentence. We don't put a comma between the two sentences because when comes in the middle of these sentences, we complete the simple past sentence after when. Number 3. Philip was crossing the square. He noticed the man. We have while. Where is the past continuous sentence? Excellent, the first sentence. Then we put comma and complete the sentence as we see here. While Philip was crossing the square, he noticed the man. Number 4. Philip watched the man carefully. He was taking photos. We have while. Where's the past continuous sentence? Yes, he was taking. So while comes in the middle, so we don't put a comma between the two sentences. Philip watched the man carefully while he was taking photos. The last question. Write and talk. Answer the questions, then compare your answers with those of your friends. Now, I'll read these questions and you can answer from your own opinion. While you were coming to school today, what did you see? Number 2. When you arrived at school, what did you do? Number 3. What were you doing when your teacher came into the classroom? The aim of this question is to use past continuous and the simple past in a correct way. I'll show you the possible answers. That's it for today. Be ready for the next class. Goodbye.